Listen, this is useless philosophy. So we claim no expertise. Yet.
No, I don't.
Yet. I don't yet.
I don't at
Not
all.
until I get that diploma on my wall.
Welcome.
Welcome. I wonder if the mic picked that up.
Probably.
She's singing for y'all. Okay. So, David,
You.
the other day, Tuesday night,
Mm-hmm.
which was when we decided we were going to be recording these, we had a marathon.
Yeah, it was pretty long,
Yeah.
interesting conversation for the two of us.
Yes. However, once I started editing it together, there became an apparent issue.
Well, there are two, right?
Two issues.
Yeah.
One, because we talked for so long, it became problematic. And two, we talked about things that probably shouldn't be aired for the whole world to hear or say.
Maybe.
So what I would like to do today
Mm-hmm.
is our lovely audience, 18 people so far.
Hey.
Hey, and they've watched the whole thing, which is nice. So hello. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. And I would like to go through and re-record our main topic today.
Okay.
So I won't tell you what it is just yet.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about right now is going to be our second opening for that episode. So the audience will see the original opening right after they see this opening here.
Okay.
That's why we change clothes in between. That's why one day I don't look sick, and today I look sick as shit. So does that sound like a good plan to you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay. You said you had a deep breath in there. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when we come back, you guys will see the start of the other episode. And then you'll see the segments. And then we'll come back. You'll see us again at the main topic where this iteration of us will see you again. Okay? Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
We'll see. Today is what week are we on?
3?
Not counting the week where we tried to figure everything out, where we did the same thing 400 times.
Yeah.
That was fun. Wasn't that fun?
It was a learning experience.
This is true.
We figured it out, though, we think.
So we're going to jump right in.
Okay.
We're going to do a segment, and then our main topic. Do you know what the main topic is?
I do not.
Do you ever know what the main topic is?
I do not.
So far.
Yeah.
3, what is the win 2 and 3? It's a streak. Yeah.
We won 1 yesterday. We won 1 today. That's 2 in a row. We won 1 tomorrow. That's called a winning streak. It has happened before.
Very good. I'm keeping that whole thing in there.
All right.
All right. Do you know what you're going to talk about today?
I do.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right.
Do you know what you're talking about today?
I sure do.
Hey.
I'm excited about this one.
Excellent.
Excellent. I keep seeing it's your computer. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. What?
You.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get into it.
All right.
Let's have some fun. Do a thing. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Woo! I gotta stop saying woo. This is my not at all hot take, my lukewarm take, my cold take. This one is probably chilly.
Okay.
Ludacris is the best part of the entire Fast and Furious franchise.
Stand up!
Fight me. He is. He's funny. He's improvisational. Is that a word?
Sure.
He's good at improv. He's the most genuine of all the characters. And God love him, Paul Walker, R.I.P., not as funny or as engaging as Ludacris is in those movies. Oops. Don't ask me how many of them I've seen.
I mean,
The answer's 2.
I would argue Paul Walker's character wasn't meant to be funny. He was more the straight, because he was the undercover cop guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are going to get blasted for this because I don't think either one of us knows too terribly much about the
Nah, I
franchise.
think I watched 2 of them,
Yeah.
maybe 3 of them.
But I mean,
I watched, no, I take that back. I watched up to Tokyo Drift,
yeah.
and then I stopped.
Fun little anecdote. We went to see Too Fast, Too Furious in the theaters, and it was all 4 of us, the 4 older kids, and we were driving my parents' Chevy Astro. And at the end of the movie, we all came out. My brother was driving, my older brother, and everybody in the parking lot was like revving their engines because, of course, that's what you do at the end. You're a bunch of teenagers, and he started revving that Chevy Astro's engine. Anyway, Ludacris is fantastic. That was the role he was born to play.
Sure, yeah. Ludacris did a pretty good job.
And Vin Diesel and who else? Is Jason Statham in those movies?
I think he was in one of them.
Yeah. The Rock?
The Rock was in one of them. There's the infamous.
Who's so it was originally Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, right?
Yeah.
And
Michelle
then
Rodriguez.
Right. Eva Mendes was in the second one?
Maybe.
Yeah, she was in one of them.
Yeah.
It's something about rats. Anyway, I'm just saying, anytime I've seen any part of that whole thing, it has been made better by Ludacris. And up until those points, I was like, all right, this is fun. Yeah, it's the best part of those movies. Fight me. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Anyway, this has been my lukewarm take on a movie franchise that's been running since 25 years now? Something like that. Yeah. So, we stay topical here at Useless Philosophy.
Yeah.
And we're back. We are going to record a lovely segment called
David's Diatribe.
You can say it better than that.
David's Diatribe.
Oh, yeah. All right. I will get your graphic loaded, sir.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you set?
I am set.
Here we go.
So. Season pass in video games.
Okay.
So,
what the hell is that?
Yeah, a game is released.
Uh-huh.
And now they do cyclical content. So every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, they will refresh the game.
Okay.
So usually in progression-based games, so like level 0 to
keeps it fresh, keeps
300,
it fun.
yeah. The end of the month, or 2 or 3, they just reset your account.
What?
And then you start back over. A seasonal pass is $20, $30. Yeah.
Do you get reset even if you don't buy a new one?
So typically it depends on what it is. Like if you buy the season pass nowadays, you kind of get boosted a smidge. But most games, if there is cyclical content, it resets everybody.
How mad does that make you?
It depends on the game.
Well, which
like
game?
Path of Exile does it, and I don't care.
Oh, why?
Because of how they do it.
Oh,
so it's a free to play game. You don't have to pay money for anything. I have a lot. Every 3 months or so, they bring out new content. So there's new skills, there's new things to do in the game, but it's still like the base game.
yeah.
So it alters the game, but it's still the
And
game.
you have to pay for it every time.
They have like a roadmap, and a season may last, a year. Maybe it'll last 6 months or something like that. And they release content in a set period of time.
Can you still play if you don't buy the pass?
Yeah, but you're
Do
missing
you
out.
get stuck in the old season?
Like you can still do the stuff, but you may not have access to everything.
Once you buy a season, that season is yours forever.
In theory.
In theory?
We'll get into a whole different rabbit hole with, is your iTunes music actually yours? Is your Steam library actually yours?
I feel like they can charge you for anything.
Well, they can, but there's a debate going on. It has been for a while, where like, let's say iTunes is fairly popular music,
Right?
if that goes under, you lose access to everything that you bought
Right.
because they own it's on their server. You just own a copy of it, basically. Yeah.
Figures
But
out.
everybody knows, the publishers know that it's good because it
Oh,
entices
yeah.
them to spend more money on a game that was $60 to begin with.
Well, you got to keep making that dollar bills, y'all.
This has been David's Diatribe.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm talking about Ludacris a little bit
A little bit.
because Ludacris is the real star of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hate to tell you. What was our topic the other day?
Love
Love.
and like all the different types of love.
All the different types of love. I would like to take what we learned the other day from that experience of talking about love for like an hour and a half. We were in here for a while.
Well,
I would like to talk about love in reality shows with
Okay.
you today. And this is absolutely inspired by our most current viewing habit,
yeah.
which is all of the Netflix soap opera drama reality shows
Yeah.
that are on.
The dang Nick and Vanessa.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of funny that they are hosting this when he was on one of the very, very first like real reality shows.
Yeah.
Because that Newlyweds in the Osbournes kind of,
Kickstarted everything.
yeah. The real world had been on for a while.
There was I would put that in a different category though,
But why?
because it was strangers picked to live in a house.
To live together and
Polarity
have
and
their
sex.
lives taped.
Yeah.
To find out what happens when people stop being polite and start getting real. I'm sorry. That just fell out of my brain. Blah, 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 blah.
But yeah, I would say that was a little bit different because it was like a weird sort of. Well, at the beginning, it was just like let's pick a bunch of people and put them together and see what happens.
Yeah.
In the later seasons, it turned into they need a job or let's
Yeah.
give them a task to do or something. But
Do you have a seminal real world season in your head that like you bonded with? I feel like everybody has one.
yeah, Seattle was the first one that came to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was New Orleans. New Orleans. And then we got
think-
blonde-headed Julie.
Yeah, I think New Orleans was when I stopped.
Okay. I want to talk about love in these reality shows. We're talking The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, The Golden Bachelor, The Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah.
What other
Are we
reality
doing
shows
like
are
Love
there?
is Blind, The
Love is
Ultimatum?
Blind, The Ultimatum. There's like hundreds of them.
There's a few. Yeah.
Dating shows. Do you remember Joe Millionaire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what baseline? What is the feasibility after season 1 of these relationships
Yeah.
making it? And what is that season 1 magic that it does not seem to replicate past season 1
Right.
at all?
I mean, it's the season 1. We have a new spin on it. So like Love is Blind.
Yeah.
We're in the pods. We're having fun. This is great. Ultimatum is a wild ride altogether.
It hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll talk about that
Well,
in a minute.
that could be its own episode.
I know. So what do you think the
It's a new idea on a genre.
sure.
And so someone hears that and they go, "Oh, that's interesting. I will watch that." And then, holy crap, it's amazing. This is awesome. This is awful. I can't believe this is a thing. We have to
Yeah.
keep watching. And then season 2 is when everybody's like, "I'm going to be on that show and I'm going to be the best one that there ever was."
Do you think that's what it is?
I
It's
think
like
it's
fame
part-
seeking.
yeah.
But so here's the only pushback I would give you on that idea. I do agree with you in large part, but it is true for couples that are on reality shows too.
Yeah.
Like if you put aside the Kardashians, which we won't talk about them because they make your blood boil. Tune in next week for David's diatribe on the Kardashians. I really want you to do that, by the way. But putting them aside, like you have, let's talk about Newlyweds, right?
Yeah.
I know way too much about the show. I'm not even sorry about it. I still watch it to this day. I think it's hysterical and I think it's really funny. And I love that sort of behind the scenes look at artists that I really liked at that time. But the sort of first season magic where they were just madly in love with one another, and like that is where the show was made.
Yeah.
And the subsequent seasons, they were okay, but by the third season they don't even want to be in the same room together.
Well, yeah, I mean, we see on-air grievances. There are probably off-air grievances.
Yeah.
There's the fact that they're going into their third year of being followed by a camera crew and production and sound and all of that. I'm sure over time that just gets frustrating. John and Kate plus 8 turned into
sure,
Kate plus 8.
exactly. Like the magic of it just leaves after the first, maybe second season if you're lucky. And then these dating reality shows, the first season of Love is Blind, I remember us watching it. It was during COVID. It was during lockdown. So we were Tiger King and Love is Blind. And I remember being really intrigued by it. And the people that were there seemed really
invested.
Yeah, they really wanted to walk out of there with their partner.
It was a very intriguing idea. It seemed everybody seemed on board with what was going on.
Yeah.
It didn't appear as though there were any hijinks or like, I'm going to be on this show to find love, but you need to follow my social media account because
I have so many followers. I think the 2 of the 5 couples that they picked in that first season, they're still together. So as far as things go,
I mean,
it's not horrible.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not horrible. What gets at me, they are real people.
They are, yeah.
They're tragically real people.
Yeah.
And for The Ultimatum, which is the one we're watching now, it's heartbreaking to watch because none of them seem to be, and granted it is still early, not all the episodes are out, but they all seem to be very like, I want to be married.
Yeah. Not to a specific person, just married.
Yeah, and that hurts my heart just to see them like, I need to be married right now. Yeah. It's like, but why do you want to marry your partner? And why do you want to marry your partner without saying the word I, me, or my? Yeah. And then they're all like, well, he makes me smile. Like, oh, can't, that's me. He makes me feel like, oh, you did it again. You know, your partner shouldn't make you feel certain things. You should be fully in charge of your own feelings and emotions, and your partner should bring joy to your life that lifts that spirit up. But they're all just like, I want to be married.
Well, yeah, and the people that are still there, and we won't go into spoilers because it's an active season and that sort of thing.
Yes.
But the people that are still there, we're talking the oldest person's 38.
Yeah.
The youngest person is 24.
Yes.
And everybody else is like 27 to 32 is
the
kind of the average.
24-year-old is the one that issued the ultimatum.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't. Being 24 and being like, we need to get married now. I need to
get married?
Yeah.
We're talking about, that burning desire to not be with somebody for the rest of your life because of what you bring out in each other, but because like, I need to be married, my kids and family.
And that kind of dovetails into that Hollywood stereotypical familial life of I need to be, when I hit 25, I need to have my job in order. I need to have a wife and kids.
Young.
And like my life needs to be on its trajectory when I'm 25, 27. Yeah. If I'm over 30, I might as well be dead if I'm single.
Well, talking about like the different kinds of love and things that we were talking about before, I don't know that it is entirely possible to have those like really deep feelings, like the mature feelings of love. Like, of course you can have those moments and those feelings of love, but like
the more nuanced.
Yeah. How do you get there if you simply don't have that experience yet?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that you can.
Yeah.
Unless you just...
Do we sound like judgmental old
I
people,
mean,
though.
maybe a little, yeah. But I mean, we've gone through life, you
Right.
know, we've got experience in this
Yeah.
arena.
Yeah.
And I feel that like you have to have enough experience, or you just get super lucky
Yeah.
and you don't, like, the person that you met when you were 17
Yeah.
is the person that you married and had kids and everything's hunky-dory. You were married for 60 years and whatever.
You got that. You
Yeah.
are the lightning in the bottle
Yeah.
sort of situation.
I'd say for most people, that's not the expectation.
So is the problem with these shows the people that are on it or the people that watch it?
I would,
Or neither,
well,
or both?
I mean, maybe a little bit of both. I would say more the people on it, and
Yeah.
then the people that watch it, because social media is a
Do
thing.
you really think it's just a fame thing?
As it gets later on in seasons, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think season 1 and 2 of Love is Blind, particularly, was fine.
Yeah.
2 started to get a little dicey because there was that one guy with the eye drops. I think that was season 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you tell does it look like I've been crying?
But after that, it was rough, I'm sure, for them to parse.
I read
Are you
something not too long
serious or
ago, and I'll put it up on the screen if I can find it, about like the success rate for dating shows, and it's like hysterically low.
I mean, yeah. It's
Yeah.
not, that doesn't shock me.
What is the motivation behind the people that go to be on Married at First Sight?
I think that because they go through a matchmaker and they're putting their faith in people that do it for a living. So they're looking at their, pros and cons list and then matching them with someone that will be with them favorably.
I've read that those matchmakers, like at this point, they're more motivated by like ratings,
Well, sure.
dynamite, than they would be to like genuine matches.
Yeah, and that again,
And there's like
seasons
20 seasons
12.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the expectation of the participant is they do this for a living. They're going to put me with someone that goes well with what I've got going on.
Yeah.
But later on down the line, it's like, oh, you are an insane person and you are an insane person.
This
We'll
will
put
be
you
fun.
together so that ratings go well. Yeah.
Would you marry me at first sight?
Would I marry you at first sight?
You're not supposed to repeat the question, and you're not supposed to hesitate.
I would say probably not. Just because that's not how, I don't think that's how like a true bond develops.
We've talked about this though.
What do you mean?
I would ask you to jump in the pool with me.
Right. But that was on, that scenario was we are on the show together, we have talked and we have matched. And
Yeah.
now we're going through. I think in a Married at First Sight scenario where nobody has any idea who these people are, they're just, I put my resume out to a matchmaker, they put me with this person, and now boop.
So you don't think we'd be matched?
I'm not saying that. I think if we were to get matched, I don't know if the rules of the Love is Blind would correlate over to Married at First Sight. I think that Married at First Sight, just because it's the first time you meet someone is walking down the aisle,
Right.
I think that's a different level of hurt. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're on that show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you gotta make me feel better right now. No one should have any control of your emotion. You're on the show already. You're at the altar.
Yeah.
And I'm walking down the aisle. My question was, but I hope you misunderstood. Are you marrying me walking to you? You're on the show.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm on the show and that's what we're doing, then yes, that's
Okay. Because
Yeah.
you're under contract or something?
no, because the expectation is I'm putting my resume out to this person. They have verified that this person is good for me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
You're so pragmatic.
go through with it. Yeah.
You got to be more romance. Do you think we would make it out of the pods together?
I think we would make it out of the pods, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you propose?
Um, would I propose? I mean, it's weird just because of how we did it, you know?
Sure.
Um, I think if we talked about the things that we did,
Right.
I don't know that I would.
I think we had a pretty pod like conversation when we talked about getting married because we were both, I mean, we weren't like back to back or anything, but we were sitting on a beach
Yeah.
and we were both just staring out at the ocean. It's not like we were locked and,
Right.
uncomfortable eye contact. Ooh, side quest. You ready to go on a side quest?
Sure.
How do you tell the story of us getting engaged?
I don't think anyone has ever asked.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But if I were to tell this story,
Uh-huh. Oh, let's do it. Fireside. We'll put a little graphic up. Story time with David. Get you a pipe. Go ahead.
it would probably be something along the lines of we had talked previously about it, and we decided that when she was ready, that she would be the one to propose, just because there was a bunch of stuff going on previously, and it was a little rocky road situation, and so we had talked about it, and we had decided that the ball was in her court to do that, and that's what she did. She wrote some notes on some pieces of paper, and was in a was it in an envelope, or was it in the ring box? I don't remember.
It wasn't in a ring box.
No, it was like a little envelope thing.
No, it was like a Chinese nesting doll situation. There was a piece of paper in every layer.
Yeah.
And it was in a bottle of cologne. And the
Right.
ring was on top of the bottle of the cologne.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the cologne was in a box. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you feel any type of way about that?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't either. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the old adage of like the man needs to propose. It's like, I mean, sure, if that's how you feel about it, fine.
Yeah.
But if you are in a relationship with someone and you've had that conversation, which you probably should at some point in your relationship, and one is like, I would really prefer if I would be the one to
Yeah.
propose, and then for me to be like, no, I'm gonna do it.
I feel like I said something like, if you were to ever do it, I would either say no immediately or I would pressure say yes. And neither one of those situations were good for either one of us.
Yeah.
But I told you in that conversation, just so everybody is aware that like we're good, you had just been in a car accident.
Yeah.
And I had all those panic
Well,
mom
it
slash
probably didn't help that I
girlfriend thoughts.
It was early in the morning, and so I left a message because you didn't answer because you were asleep.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm okay, but like I got into a car accident.
Yeah.
So.
And then I saw the car and just the whole thing of like, and I told you, I never want to get married again.
Yeah.
And I mean that with all of my heart.
Yeah. And I said I'm probably okay with not being married either.
Yeah. And then I said something like, but I want to be married to you.
Yeah.
And I think we should get married. And you were like, oh, really? Like it was very surprising and shocking.
I mean, it was, yeah. It was
Yeah.
surprising. Just because of the amount of times that we talked about it.
Yeah. And then when
But it wasn't like a bad surprising,
No. And I think if I had got the sense that it was a bad surprising, like that would have obviously put us on a different path. But reality shows.
Yeah.
I think our life would make a funny reality show at points.
At points.
Do you think these people that leave these reality shows and then go off back into their lives with the partner that they chose, like a lot of them end up divorced anyway.
Yeah.
But like, do you really want to make that your 15 minutes?
It depends on the person.
I mean, it's such a flash in the pan kind of thing.
Well, and nowadays, so there are spin-off shows.
Sure. Yeah.
And so if you were a fan favorite, but
Real
didn't,
World did that first
well,
too.
they did, yeah.
Real World Road Rules Challenge. Look at me, I said it right.
But there are a lot of spin-offs. So if you were popular on, let's say, Love is Blind, you
Yeah.
didn't get picked, or you got dumped at the altar or whatever,
Mm.
then there's the Island
Oh
show or
yeah.
whatever. It's like a weird
Didn't
game
Nick
show.
Lachey
Yeah,
host one of those?
yeah. But they did that. I
Yeah.
saw a bunch of the Love is Blind people on like a T-Mobile commercial or something.
Yeah.
So it's like there are ways to keep going.
Anyway, what kind we did a lot of research on the kinds of love. What kind of love do you think those kids are seeking on those shows?
On
Love
the
is Blind,
shows?
The Ultimatum, Married at First Sight, The Bachelor, The
I mean, I think,
Bachelorette.
yeah, I think what they want is like the familial, friendly partnership one. I can't remember the names of any of them.
Yeah, I can't either. It's fine.
Mania is the only one I remember because that was
Yeah,
crazy.
Mania was funny. It's wild.
Like they want that ideal relationship. They want someone that is
Yeah.
their friend, that they can love, that will be with them forever, that will, that has their back, all of that. But what in the environment in which they're seeking it is difficult to attain that because you've got a camera crew with you.
Yeah.
You've got producers and sound crews and everything else. And like in some of the shows, your ex is there. Your ex, when the person that you came with on the ultimatum,
yeah.
you break up, and that's your ex.
I could not. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
But yeah, I think that they want that ideal relationship. I think what they get is a little bit more drama induced, a little bit
Yeah.
more like the Sandy and the JR on the ultimatum right now. It's very physical. It's
Yeah.
very
Showy.
surface level.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they wind up getting. Because that plays better to an audience.
Well, sure.
Unless you get the people in, what was it, Love is Blind? The Navy chick who didn't.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
the guy
that
who
was a
didn't
very
like
interesting.
military people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had a very good connection.
Mm-hmm.
They talked through everything. The guy was a little particular.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and she was just trying to be herself and
Yeah.
be loved.
See, I
and-
think those two, they did the experiment right.
yeah.
And I think I remember saying
Well, they did it right
that,
right up until the end when he was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, but I think he didn't wait for the altar. And of all the things to do, I think that's probably the best one. And I remember saying after this past season of Love is Blind, 7, I think it was, because they had a lot of couples drop out before they got
did,
to the
yeah.
altar. And
I was
for
very upset.
right, but I remember saying to you when we were watching it, for as many just ghosts and bombs that we had
Yeah.
leading up to this, they really did stick the landing, because I think the 3 that went to the altar, they all got married.
Yeah, I think so.
And they seemed as genuine as
Yeah.
that show gets. And as far as I know, they're all still together. I haven't
not
Googled
looked.
it. I will look it up. I will look it up before I put this out and maybe do a little voiceover, or it'll be on the screen right now. So, wow, those are still together. Those people, those
Those are still together.
those are still together. That's so bad.
Season of
The
that.
Ultimatum is hard to watch in the sense that it's just sad.
It's sad, yeah.
It's
Because
people seeking confusing things
Yeah.
for little reason, and they're hurting themselves. Like it's
the longest I think someone was together as a couple was 3 years.
3 years.
And someone
Yeah.
has already been like, we need to get married or goodbye.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go on a TV show.
And I'm
figure this out.
26.
Yeah. I'm 24. The other one was 30 or
Yeah, and
something
we've been together
weird.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's do some math real quick. Okay. Well, there was that one person, again, no spoilers, but he did say that he was hopeful his partner was experiencing things
Yeah.
because she hadn't
Correct.
up until that point.
That was one of his main concerns.
Like,
was
how do
that
you know I'm the one?
Correct. Yeah.
If-
You haven't been on too many dates.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that you kind of get some experiential type stuff out of this.
Yeah.
And that would be good.
And this is going to get cut.
But
That just got cut. Y'all didn't even see that. Spoilers. No spoilers.
But I think it's interesting. The first, like, we go back to the first couple seasons were good. Everybody gamed the system, and now it's kind of meh.
Love is Blind. Do you think Love is Blind?
I think yes.
Yes.
I
Once
think-
you're in love,
Well, that's the bit, right?
Right.
It's like love is blind. Sure, you can develop an emotional,
right?
mental connection with someone, and then you meet them, and then your brain goes, I don't think they're attractive. I need to bail out.
See, I don't like that part about it.
Yeah.
Because it demonizes the idea of physical attraction.
Sure.
And that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, correct, but on
Physical
a show,
attraction is a thing.
it is, and it's fairly important.
Sure.
But on a show that's titled "Love Is Blind,"
Right.
when anytime anybody brings up physical attractiveness,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh no, you can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
that's not,
we can now.
That's, yeah,
Yeah,
right?
We can now. We met each other.
And they
said
have the
yes.
premise of it right.
Yeah.
Because they say that, like, we need to see if your physical connection will develop in the same way that your emotional connection has developed. And it's like, okay, you guys are giving them space to do both.
Yeah.
But then anytime, like, physically, this is not what I was expecting, or it's different than what I was expecting. It's like,
Yeah, everybody
kick
gets,
him off the island.
everybody gets real mad. It's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah,
Like,
this is different.
this is natural.
Yes, there's going to be that, like, I fell in love with you and I've never seen you, and now I get to or need to fall in love with you all over again.
Yeah. Well, and how many times have people been like, if I had seen you at a bar, I wouldn't have come up to you because I didn't think you were attractive, or I thought you were too short, or
Right.
your hair looked weird, or whatever random crap anybody says about not liking someone.
Yeah.
It's like, we were made to interact with each other, and then we chose to interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going through life. So yeah, I think Love is Blind is a thing. But if you aren't mature enough to deal with the physicality aspect of it,
Yeah.
then it can kind of fall apart.
What do you think is more important? Physical attraction and love, or emotional attraction and love?
For me personally, I would say emotional is more important.
Lucky you. Got a smoking hot wife. Sick of
The package, the whole package.
the whole package.
What do you think? Emotional or physical? What's more important?
I mean it when I say, and I'm not pandering or baiting. I don't feel like I had to pick.
Right.
But emotional for sure, because, like, yeah. I'm not going to say anything because it will be obvious what I'm saying. And so now that I'm walking down this path, it'll get cut anyway. Skip. I don't. Well, let me say this. The physical type that I dated before and during, like, the app dating days, like, I had a very specific kind of, like, look or whatever I was going for, and you were very different than that. But we did sort of get to know each other over many months before we met at all. And
we just knew each other by pictures. That was kind of
and and I remember the first night we actually did meet, I thought you were not interested, and I was like, okay, well, because I couldn't tell, like, what your type was or had been or anything like that. And I don't know if you could tell or knew what my type was or had been.
And truthfully, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. but I mean, it worked out because it was you were.
I was me.
Yeah. Yeah. But if I was like standing in a line of 15 guys, I probably wouldn't have picked you,
Yeah.
but not because you're not attractive, but because I had only ever looked at a certain type
Yeah.
before, you know? So yeah, I mean, shame on me, I guess, but that's that whole demonizing physical attraction thing.
Well,
But
yeah, and I say this all the time. I don't know if you actually believe me, but I don't think that I have a type.
I know very little about
Well, that's
the
fair too, yeah.
specific women that you've dated.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know
Yeah. I
if
think I've
that's
got a
true or not.
personality type.
For sure.
Yeah.
From what you are like celebrity wise attracted to, and like, yeah, for sure you have a personality type.
But in terms of physicality,
Yeah.
as long as I think that they are attractive,
Right.
or I used to think that they were attractive, you know what I mean? Because we're married and,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean, that's a whole nother thing. I don't think spouses should smack at each other when, you know, like another person is attractive.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
No, I mean, I agree.
I have no desire in my whole life to be with anybody other than you.
Right. Yeah.
I'm really happy with what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But to say like no one would ever turn my head ever again in my whole life, like that has to be a lie.
Right.
I mean, and I would assume it has to be true for you as well, to be like, there are attractive people in the world.
Yeah. There are attractive people in the world.
And adults can go, I'm married and I love my spouse.
Correct. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can look at an attractive person who says hello to you and go, hello. If that
Right.
starts to go down a different track, it's like, oh, I appreciate it, but, you know, like I'm married and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the meme of, I have a boyfriend.
I don't know that meme.
Is it anytime like a man asks a woman something,
Yeah.
and then the woman is just like, I have a boyfriend. It's like, I just asked you what you got on answer number 4 or whatever.
Oh,
Like, it's a stupid little meme, but
okay. Well, I'll put it up on the screen. Ha 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 ha.
ha ha.
Interesting.
Yeah,
We have gone some interesting places today.
we usually do.
We usually do. All right. Any final thoughts on reality shows, dating, love, falling in love, anything to do with love that we've talked about in the last couple days?
I think you should watch Love Is Blind at
I do
least.
too.
It's a
Agreed.
good show. Ultimatum is okay. I don't know much about Bachelor, Bachelorette, that sort of thing.
I watched the Tristan Sutter wedding, and they are still married to this day.
Nice.
A beautiful family. Yeah, he was a firefighter.
Like I think that the shows can be helpful for the participants if you go into it with the right headspace. I think if you're going on to it for unscrupulous reasons,
Ooh, good word.
they will figure that out.
Yeah, yeah,
As the later seasons have gone on, they have denied people from participating.
yeah. Right.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
You said that on our first date.
But yeah, like switch it up, or just be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the main takeaway. Be happy with
that
yourself.
has
first.
to be the main take. Like, yeah, I don't think anything will fruate
Yeah.
if you're not internally good with where you are and what you've got going on. And this is, if I were to give any philosophical advice for anyone watching this, your partner should not have the power to make you happy or unhappy.
Yeah.
Your partner should bring to your life joy, and you should want to support each other through life. And if you cannot describe your partner without describing how you feel, there's a problem. There's a problem. So they are generous And I know they're generous because they donate their time. They are caring. And I know they're caring because blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is so important. And I hear it all the time. I'm so fortunate to work with a lot of young people.
Yeah.
And I hear it all the time. It's like, he makes me so mad and he knows he's making me mad. I'm like, well, he probably does, but why does that, what? Raising our kids to, just have agency over their own emotions and like be able to handle that and identify what those emotions are. Because if you put them in someone else's hands, even the most trustworthy hands, over time, that trust will erode.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, we say all the time, it's okay to feel that way, but you can't park your car there.
That's right. Right. If they made you mad, process that. It's not their fault that they made you mad. But if they make you mad a lot, then that's not the person for you.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, it's okay. Like, if you've been with someone for 4 years and like you like them half the time, it's like, how about we digest some of that a little bit? Like, it's okay to maybe leave if you're not happy. Like, you don't have to stick it out until the bitter end.
Yeah. It's okay to say goodbye, and
Yeah.
it's okay to be heartbroken for a
Yeah.
minute. Learning how to deal with heartbreak and coping with that and being able to truly like close a book and move on. That's where we come to a lot of times. Like just being able to really hold on to something and then just letting it go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like, I wish that they would do this. I tell them all the time they need to do this. I'm trying to change
They're
them.
not going to.
It's like, yeah, they're not going to,
No.
and you shouldn't be changing them anyways.
No. And if they tell you they're going to change, they're lying. And it's not malicious. They want to be able to do this for you, but they can't because it's not who they are.
Yeah.
When someone shows you who they are,
You listen.
you listen, you believe them. The things that people do in and around your life will show what they want to do in and around your life. You don't have to go looking for things. It'll be apparent. All right. So we'll be right back to say goodbye.
Okay.
All right. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. So we've reached now the end of this 2-in-1 episode.
Episode 3, part 2.
I hate that so much. You did that on the second one. We had a really big, deep personal discussion about love in all its forms. That's going to stay with the edit boys on
The film boys.
the film boys. And then we just had our conversation about, reality shows and love, and we got some places.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good. I think we touched on all the topics that we needed to. And I think we kept it light and fun.
Yep. So the original ending of this, I don't think will stay, but everything else, hope y'all enjoyed this here third episode of Useless Philosophy. If you would be so kind as to like,
Comment
share.
and subscribe.
We didn't even rehearse that. That's so great. Yeah, if y'all want to do that, that would be super fun. We're really enjoying doing these for you.
Yeah.
And even if not for you, for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing thoughts, sir, before we move on?
Be happy, be kind, have fun.
I love you.
I love you.
We'll see you next week.